Salutations and greetings. Good now, whatever time it is that you're watching this. Today is leg day. It's a refeed. So the roof of my mouth is all tore up because I was eating a bunch of cereal. And can't complain too much, cereal. Good times. Anyway, I believe today's squat day, so I really want to do the pendulum. So we'll see if that's occupied when I get there. Hopefully not, but we'll see. So real quick on the car talk, mechanic time. So the shocks I ordered for the Beetle, despite being listed as wagon shocks, because that's the kit that you use, like you use Jetta wagon suspension parts to jack it up, because they're tougher and taller. Despite being listed as that, they are not. They are actually the same length. So, in order to make those fit, you have a couple options. You can get a thread extension from like a parts website, or order it from Europe or eBay or whatever, but those are quite expensive, and I'm not sure how much I trust that, because it's that part tends to rotate, and you have threads on top of your shocks, and I don't know. It doesn't sound like a great idea. They're also quite expensive. The other option is, besides buying the right shocks, I already have shocks, so I'm just going to use the ones that I bought. The other option is, what I'm doing is I bought a shock extender, basically, off of Amazon, and it is actually designed for, technically, a either like a Chevy 2500 pickup or a like an F250 or something like that. But all I need to do is just slap it in the shackle there, and then bolt the shock up to it, and it'll reach. It's not. It might need a little wiggle room. I might need to either compress or open up the channel a little bit to fit the Volkswagen shock, but I don't see it being a problem. So that's what's going to happen with that. So shocks come in today. The extension comes in tomorrow, and I will just mount them up then, and we'll be good to go. Also, I got a welder off Temu, so we'll see if it's any good. I think it's a stick welder, which is fine. I'm not very good at welding in my experience, be it stick or MIG. But regardless, the next phase of the project is I want to put a side exhaust, like not quite like a stack, so to speak. Essentially it's going to end up being a stack, but I just want to get some piping that comes up around and out the side, just for the future, for when I eventually do the all-wheel drive swap. The current tunnel where the exhaust is sitting at the moment, it's going to be where the drive shaft is going. So I'm going to have to route the exhaust to a different location, of course. That's like the only way to do it. You can do headers, you can do a hood stack, but the way the exhaust system on Volkswagen, on that, on the 1.9 TDI setup, is the manifold is routed down, the exhaust manifold, and so in order to hood stack, you actually have to come down, back up, and out through the hood. That's sort of a pain in the butt. And so what I'm going to be doing is just running it right out the side, behind the, either in front of the passenger side mirror or behind the door or whatever. I'm just going to see what I can do to make it work. It's probably going to have to go behind the tire, though. not in front of it, just because of the nature of where everything is sitting. And I'm going to route it creatively so that it will not interfere with the drive shaft when I eventually put that in. So, looking forward to that. Looking forward to having a welder. Might be able to play with it. You know, I'm not, get some experience. I'll need to get some gloves and a mask or some goggles or something to weld, but, whatever. Down the line. Not in any rush. Put it that way. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with that. I'm also going to have to source some exhaust tubing. I might be able to get some from like a junkyard and just tear it up, or just buy some like tubing off of Amazon or eBay or whatever. Who knows? I'm not in any rush to get that done. Plus the welder is going to take like 2 or 3 weeks to ship anyway, so whatever. But yeah, that's about it for car talk today. For mechanics talk, I guess. We're very, very close to 100 subscribers. We're at 99. Unfortunately, we've been at 99 for like 2 or 3 days. So I just want to cross that mark. Just give me that one more, boys. But, whatever. It's not like it matters in the grand scheme of things. So, going into legs today. I'm going to try to do what I've been doing the last few days, if not weeks here, and just really try to like speed run the workout. Just get in, go, get out, fast, quick, and dirty. Which is why I kind of want to do the pendulum. It's not as intense on the CNS, so I don't. I can hit the sets a little bit faster. They're not quite as painful, and I can still get a good leg pump out of it. So yeah, beyond that, it's pretty standard. Gonna be our squats, RDLs, extensions, curls, and then one of the hip machines, and that's it. Bing, bang, boom. I think my warm up today it's lunges, so I'll do that before we get into it. I did get a comment talking about my form on RDLs. Look, everybody's body is different mechanically. They're talking about like, I'm not hinging at the hips enough. I'm using my lower back to lift, and it's like, I'm not like, an expert in kinesiology or sports science or whatever, right? But I know how my body works. And a lot of times when I'm doing deadlifts or rack pulls or RDLs, it's going to look like I'm rounding my back. I promise you I'm not, okay? It's just the way that like my muscles look. It's the way my hips work, which is to say poorly. One of my hips has it's anteriorly rotated. It's like a congenital type thing. So it, it's whatever. But I've had back injuries, so I know what tweaks it. I know what doesn't. It's and the way I do RDLs, I get really good activation on the hammies. Like they're not. I do it to maximize the impact on my muscles, okay? And it doesn't hurt my back. I don't get like any pain out of it. And biomechanically, I'm doing fine. So I do appreciate the concern, the comments. Like, don't get me wrong, keep commenting. I'm more than happy to hear, especially when it's positive or advice. But for my purposes and my sake, what I'm doing is perfectly good for me. Plus, it's very low weight. Like, if I was doing RDLs with 3-4 plates, I would definitely consider a little bit more of a bend in the knee, But with the weight that I'm doing, which is 185, which is nothing, it's not that big of a deal. But I may adjust my form a little bit to see if I can't get the same hamstring activation in a safer manner. I don't have hard feelings about adjusting. The entire prep I've been jumping things around and moving variables and making sure that everything lines up with what the coach wants, with what I'm trying to do with my goals. So if I can get a better workout with, a different form, then I don't see why that would be a problem to institute it. So that's what I'm going to. I'll try it. Moral of the story, I'll try it. Once again, thanks for the note. Thanks for the advice. So, the other thing is I don't wear a belt when I'm doing RDLs because, ironically, it kind of hurts my back a little bit when I do wear a belt. If I'm doing heavy, yes, I will. But it also very much constricts my ability to breathe effectively, my ability to, I don't know if recover, but the cardiovascular intensivity increases when I have a belt on because of the restriction of blood flow, of oxygen, of my chest, of my lungs, etc. So that's why I don't wear a belt. But yeah, beyond that, just waiting for those car parts to come in. I'm in the Ranger today, of course, because I'm not driving the Beetle without shocks. It's just too damn bouncy. Outrageously terrible. Unpleasant. Yeah. Shocks are important, boys. Shocks are important. So, going into the gym now. Gonna get my juicy leg pump on. Show off all the cuts and striations. Oh, update actually. I was sub 180 for the first time today on this prep, and also, honestly, the first time in around 2 years. It was 179.2 or 0.6, I believe, which is, that's pretty significant. Sub 180. So the cut is working. We're still stripping fat, even though we're less than 2 weeks out. It's 12 or 11 days at this point. So, boys, it's getting real. We're getting real. We are close. I can taste it, and I am looking so much forward to stepping onto that stage and showing everyone what a freak I have become. Anyway, I will see you guys for some form of squat variation. Okay, so here we are with the pendulum. Originally the plan, I was planning to do 4 plates, but as I was warming up, just 3, I was like, dang, I don't remember it being this heavy. So doing 3.5, so that comes up to 320. So that's what we're going to be doing today, just because I don't think I have 4 plates in me. Maybe for 1 set, but I don't want to destroy the pace of the entire workout because I would gas out on the first exercise and everything else would just be a nightmare. So it's going to take too long. So 320, 3.5 plates, 2 sets of 8. Still pretty heavy, not going to lie to you. Okay. Okay. The lights in here aren't working. They won't turn on, so I guess it's just a moody atmospheric lift today. Expect some smooth jazz music to start playing. Okay. Whew, we can kill these and jump right into the RDLs. Okay, get straight into the RDLs. What do you know? The lights started working again. All right, gonna try to hinge in my hips a little bit more, and we'll see. And if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, I'll go back to the way I was doing it. So, 2 sets of 12, and just gotta drill the hamstrings here. And then right after this, we have our extensions and curls, leg curls, that is. Woo! It's warm in here today. Oh, goodness. Okay. Some hinge in the hips there. Okay. Okay. So, it broke down a little bit towards the end, but yeah, gosh, definitely did feel that my hamstring's pretty good, so solid advice. We appreciate it. Yeah, so the point I made in my car talk still stands, which is that the way I was doing it, I didn't run any risk of injury to my back, and I will stand by that. But getting a little bit more hinge in your hips actually does give you, or give me, a little bit more hamstring activation. So I will be incorporating that from here on out. So I appreciate the comments, and thank you very much. Anyway, ugh, that's attractive. All right, I don't want to, but I gotta do another set. So only one way to do it, boys. Easier when it's over. Ugh. Woo! Okay. Extensions and curls. Well, this looks familiar. That's because it is. 2 sets of 20, 110 on the leg extension, 120 on the leg curl, back to back. Let's get some good burn. Show off some quad dig. That's a word. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta hype yourself up just to get through it. All right, let's take you over for the leg curl. Okay. All right. Yes. All right. So I took a little 5-minute break to avoid vomiting. It still might happen, but I really want to avoid that because it's a refeed day. I don't want to lose all my carbs, it'd be a waste. So I'm going to hit this and then maybe pause between this and the leg curl, see how it feels. I mean, this is the last thing. I'm inches from tossing my cookies, and that is something that I would not like to do. I would like to not do that, in fact. I'd like to avoid that, so. Ah! Ow. 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 Okay. I'm going to take a few minutes for the leg curls. Okay. No way to do this but to do it. So let's just get it done. We can get posed and get ready. Oh. Okay, here we are. Let's inspect some of the damage. I can barely roll my shorts up for one thing, so definitely got some pumpage going. That's a birthmark if you guys are curious. Let's get my friend. Bit of a funhouse mirror effect in front of me. They are not exactly even mirrors. Sorry, I just my stomach still doesn't feel awesome. I'll hit a little thigh abdominal for you. All right. Little hamstring show off. That's some freaky veinage going on. You can see it starts at the ankle, comes all the way up on both sides. Get my hamstrings to pop. That's pretty nutty, huh? Oh yeah. Coming in, baby. Anyway, that'll about do it for today. I'm gonna go sit in my truck with the AC on full blast for half an hour. I'll see you guys around.